Hello, friends and fellow Minecrafters. I'm Starfox, and here we are with the fifth map in my Polyworld series. The name of this map is Cliffpoint. Now, the name would actually be right there, pretty much in front of us, over to the left, because the next world is there's going to be a chunk border there, and it was actually written on the side. So that'll come. But for right now, here we are in 0.0.2a. This is the beginning of Minecraft Classic, and this is the version I used to start building on this world. And a lot has happened, and we're going to be doing a world tour of that. So the 6 does not mean the 6th world, this means the 6th spawn. So how do I have 5 worlds and 6 spawns? Well, the very first world, the first map that I did, has got 2 spawns on it. Because one, what was the difference? Trying to think of what the difference. There's a difference. There's 2 different things happen on the first map. That's why I think one had Steve's and the other did not, or something like that. So that's why we're at 6. So the see, there's a Steve right over there. Hi, hello. So the theme of this map, these are the brave, the risk takers, the first responders, if you will, the ones that are willing to go and protect, take chances, or things like that. They're not military. It's not like the one before this, Genesis Crest. It's not that one. But, I'm sure some of the influence from the neighbors has something to do with it. That phone, by the way, is my work phone. I had to take it home with me because, well, out of the 3 shifts that we have, one's on time off and the other one is really sick, and well, I'll be the next one tomorrow morning. I know, just what you want to hear on a world tour. Wow, does this thing have to keep going? I wish I could silence this thing. Okay, I think I silenced it. So yeah, there's a lot that goes on this, and this is called Cliffpoint because in this version, there's a lot of cliffs, very sharp cliffs that were generated in this version. And if you remembered how much we did before, wait till you see what we did now. We had that cliff and that cliff, and you may have remembered that staircase that I took up to that other cliff. But take a look at how much I've done here. I have an upper level and a bottom level. So let's go ahead and we'll start over here first, because this is where we first started to build, was up there. So, oh, by the way, that over there is the marker that I spawned at right there. And we'll just go up these stairs. And we had a house here. What did I do? I'm gonna have to fix this, apparently. So yeah, this is oh, that's right. This is the doorway right here. This was a window. This was a window. That's what that was. It's okay. We can fix it. We can fix it. I think. There we go. Hold on. I dug in too deep. There we go. Now we got our window. Yeah, this is the doorway. You know, I guess it would have helped if I had just created a pathway here. And I just kind of, you know, wasn't really thinking. I can fix that though. So, yeah, we have that house over there. And then we got a house over here. And this was new. I built this bridge from one cliff over here to another. And I wanted to keep the grass and stuff here to kind of show that, yeah, this is the other part of the cliff. And then this continues, and it goes off this way, which will go off into the next world. That would be map number 6. So we'll head back this way. I've added a tree. I've got quite a bit of trees in this map. That is a stone tree. This is inspired from 0.0.14a. The first trees were a 3x3x3 cube. So I wanted to replicate that, not only with this, but you'll see some other ones. So you can see some trees there in the background. And no, I'm not going to change these. When leaves come or anything, I'm not going to change them. I want to keep this mostly faithful to the original version. The difference to that is I'll be putting doors. There's going to be torches. Rails, because that's a rail system over there. Water, because that water is not available yet. That's not until the next one. And I might throw out a few, you know, flowers or something like that. But yeah, so let's keep going down here. I made, yeah, this is supposed to be a garden. So like, yeah, so for example, here's another thing that I'll add in later. Water, and then wheat all throughout here. So, I mean, I want to give it a little extra pizzazz, but not too much, if that makes sense. Alright, so we come over here and we've got a bridge, and I had started to make this on the Polyworld Forever series, and I finished this later on. So the bridge goes all the way across now and kind of comes over here at an angle. And we've got more buildings, more houses. Here is a farm thing right here. Those trees there are based off of modern trees, or the standard tree. And I've got like a cobblestone one and a stone one there. I'll change the trunks. Sometimes it'll be wood, sometimes it'll be something else. See, here's another one. I also make wood trees. So here's a different one. This is inspired from 14A_08. In this one, they had a plus shape on the very top of the 3x3x3 cube. So we got our pathway here. And then we've got this. And what I did here is I wanted to give a little bit of variety with the pathway. So I kind of put some random cobblestone here and there just to give it a little bit of texture. This pathway here is going to continue off into map number 6. We have a building here which is going to be, I was going to say a store, but no, this is a house, because that's a bed right there. Door. This is a porch. Oh, in some cases I am going to put glass, and in other cases I won't. So like here I won't put glass. But if they're like the window's 2 blocks high or something, then I will put glass. But then the second level I won't. And the reason for that is I'm going to have villagers, just to have, you know, a little bit of life in these old maps, and I don't want them going in and out of the window. I want them using the doors. So that's the reason for that. So we keep going down here, and we have ourselves another building, house, I think is what I was doing here, that has no furniture. Speaking of which, that's another thing that I'll do. I'll put in a bed. I know, so like, you are going further and further away from... It's like, yeah. I mean, I know what I'm doing. I'm sure you can recognize the face there. That's Notch. Gee, just, you know, run right by me. I appreciate that. I've got other faces on the side of cliffs. I was thinking of Mount Rushmore when I was doing it. That was my inspiration, and you're going to see a lot more faces. We got another pathway that'll connect up there. And then I made this right here. See, this is supposed to be a window, not a door. Alright, this is an example of where I'll put glass. It's there, and those right there. See? So I have a reason for why I'm doing what I'm doing. This will have doors. And this is supposed to be... I was going to say I was making this... I think I'm making this a store. I think is what I was doing. Kind of like a little grocery store. Yeah, like that's a display case. More display cases, stuff like that. We've got a little something up here. We got this underneath here, which I really wasn't doing anything with. And then I've got a house up here. Oh, which has a second floor. That right there would be the bed. And this right here, if you recognize this is the rail station. It's the same design that I've used on the other maps. And the rail will go here and will connect off into the next map. And since we're here, we'll just follow this rail, what's supposed to be over here. There's also a pathway here that I made too that will connect up there, but we're going to take the rail. Yeah, but you can see how the pathway connects up to that main one there. Here I'll have probably torches, redstone lamp down there. And up we go. Get a nice good view with some pixel art. Got a helicopter right there. Off this direction. Right up here. This is not a train station, that's a house. But we do have our train station right over here. Now with these being Cliffpoint and the risktakers and stuff like that, they are supposed to be they like to live on the edge. Literally. So they're like on the edges of cliffs, and all kinds of things about flight is going on here. You can see I have another helicopter right over there. We got some houses down there that we'll take a look at. And this thing here, it started off with this building. I just wanted to make a few that were up above, and this here is supposed to have water, so this is supposed to be like a water elevator right there. And then I guess just some type of outlook thing. So like here I wouldn't need to put glass, so that's going to be fine. And then I started to expand and thought, oh, you know, it'd be kind of cool to put some houses up in the air and all kinds of stuff. So like I got grass here, they got a little yard, so here's another house, and this here would be like a window. It may look a little weird without having glass there, but a couple of beds. And yeah, so the reason for the beds is so that way the villagers, when they finally get here, they would be able to breed and stuff like that. And then, you know, later on when there's the job objects, they can go through their daily routine. So that's the reason for wanting to put beds. And I'm only going to put the red ones. Alright, so now we... Oh, my goodness. Put that back. So now we continue this way, on this walkway. We have an opening to what will be a farm. So water, crops. Got 2 ways to get in and out. Then I've got this pathway. Once again, this will go over to map 6. And so torches will be on top of these little nub things. So map 6 over there. Then we got this little staircase that will connect to the main path right there. And this over here in this direction, that is our previous map. That is map number 4, Genesis Crest. That's what's going to be over there. Let's go back up here. And here we go. We have ourselves a house, a bed here and a bed there. Now you can see how the houses are kind of like on supports and stuff. This is our farm. We'll come over here. We got another walkway. We'll come this way. There's a little house down there. And this here, so we'll have a gate right there. And this will be for like some cows and sheep, pigs and chickens, which they'll be able, I'll have to lay carpet on top of this so that way they're not jumping over. I wasn't thinking about that. I don't want to put a fence because it'll take away from the look, but if I put even if it's a half slab, I could put half slabs of cobblestone along this right here and then up on top of that. That still keeps that look instead of gray carpet. So yeah, I think I'll do that. I think it might be smart if I put half slabs all along this here, but I don't want to get too carried away. We got another little pasture right here. Then we have another house with their own little personal garden or flowers or whatever there. 2 beds. This is the kitchen, refrigerator. This is supposed to be the sink, I think, or the stove. And I think I was thinking of a table here, I'm not sure. Continue this way. Got some more pixel art along there. There's the Totem of Undying. And we've got a balloon over there, hot air balloon. And then this part is pretty cool. That over there is the train station. I added a couple of antenna looking things. And you'll notice that I used the dirt to kind of add some color. That's what that's for. Alright, so we're going to go across this bridge here, and I created this like what's going to be a flower bed right here. So it'll have, you know, the red and yellow flowers. Same thing with right here. I wanted to put this here, like where the wooden trees are at. Alright, so what we have here is, I'm going to say this is kind of like the centerpiece of this map. So this is going to be a walkway up here. Or, well, not really a walkway, but you can see I have places for torches here. But this is a fountain. And it's supposed to go down there to a pool that has another fountain off on the edges there. So we'll come back around here. But yeah, water goes down from here, here, and on the other sides there. And we'll just come over here so you can see a few things. Got another clip art. I've got a snake over there. And this snake is also something that I did in my Bedrock Forever world, which I do have the series on the channel, but it's not that far along to where the snake is there. But it's in color. It uses wool and stuff. Where this one here, you know, it just uses the 4 blocks that we have available in 0.0.2a. No, I'm not going to go back and recolor it or anything. All that stuff stays the same. Alright, so over here, this is Pitfall Harry from the Atari 2600 game. At least that's where it originally was, from Activision. But it's spread to other platforms. That's from the game Pitfall. So that's Pitfall Harry, that's the scorpion, and the crocodile that you have to jump over or jump on the back of their head there. So that's what that is. And then we've got a walkway that goes down this way. But we'll come to that. What I want to do is jump down here from the... Wow, that's all in shadow. Do you see that? I want to jump down here to the other fountain. And here we are. And I need to destroy, oops, some blocks here so I can get out. I actually don't need to fix this because I have a copy of it. But anyway, so I made it deep. The reason why I made it deep was to make sure that the water doesn't overflow and stuff, but also wanted to have at least 1 layer of water in here. Maybe 2. I made it... Did I make that 2 or 3? No, that's 2. Okay, so I'll probably have 1 layer of water, and then the water coming down from up there is probably going to create another layer. But also, too, these are fountains. So there's going to be something coming down from here, and also from the other sides as well. Or is that... No, I'm sorry, that's one long thing. Think of that kind of like, you know, like a faucet. How you have the thing coming out into a sink. Yeah, so it's going to come out from here and along those sides there. So, what do we have here? We've got more of the faces. All this is dirt because of the shade. But we've got Steve right there. And then, what's her face? Why can't I remember her name? I want to say like Jill, Janet, Peggy, Sue. I can't remember. You know who I'm talking about though, right? You've got Steve and then you have the girl. Man, I feel dumb for not being able to remember. Spider-Man right there. Batman. That's Batman. And then do you all recognize this face right here? That's Ant Venom. So I got Ant Venom's face and I put that right there. There's also little farming areas here. I think I have another one over here. Yep, so I got one right over here. Alice? No. I want to say Alice. That's not right, though. Doesn't it start with an A? I can't remember. Maybe I'll get it before the end. And then we have another house here, and you see that I've got the trees, the wooden trees. You come in here, and you've got... I don't know, is this a house or something else? No, I don't think this is a house. I think this is kind of like a community, like building. And you can see I've got the 2-block high windows, so this is going to have glass on it. This walkway will continue off in that direction. We'll get to that. Also, in a lot of areas, what I did is I wanted to match the terrain. So that's the reason it comes off like an angle like that. At first, I thought it was kind of like an eyesore, but it doesn't necessarily have to be. After a little bit, I kind of like that look when it matches the terrain. Yeah, there are steps going up. Now maybe I didn't need to do it here, but still, when I do it like this, it gives you an idea. Oh, this is what it looked like before I, put wood and cobblestone and stuff. So we got another tree there. We got some stuff up there. We'll take a look at that in a moment. This is kind of like a condominium. You got like 2 roofs. A double bed. Have a dirt tree with a plus on it, so it's one of those plus trees, but it's a dirt one. I think I'm gonna put water there. Definitely put water here. Maybe some wheat or something to go around there, just for decoration. And then we've got a house right here with 3 beds, or is this something else? This has got to be. What was I thinking here? I guess that'll work. Yeah, because this is the kitchen. You got the refrigerator here and your counters, and a porch. I made a porch. And this is overlooking what will be map number 4 over there. Alright, so we're coming around this way. There's more stuff up here, so we'll get to that here in a little bit. Now we've got a walkway here that is going to be going over to map number 4. And it will block this off right here, so I was going to turn this all into water. I was going to fill this whole thing up with water right there. And this, I think I was just going to make a light, I think is what I was going to do there. This can be water also. I may have been thinking about putting like a glowstone on top of that or something. Okay, so this is going to be filled with water. This is going to be a pond. Is that what I was doing? No, that would flood the whole thing. Alright, so then we got benches. Right, one here, one here. This is supposed to be a fountain going down here, and a fountain there, and a fountain there. And I have this matching the terrain. I think I made a few changes But mostly this is what the terrain was like. And I thought, oh, you know, this is a little deeper than this. Yeah, that's how the terrain was. Then we got a tree on each of these corners here. Whoop, except for this corner. It just happens to be over there. Okay, and these buildings were made on the series. So we have a little house over here. A little tiny one. I don't know why I didn't do a ceiling, but that's okay. And this goes off to map number 4. I put this here to remind me that this is not a doorway. This is supposed to be a window. And then this is a bedroom here in the back. And this was another house that I made. I had to work with the design a little bit. And I actually had to shift it. So I used MC Edit to pick this up and shift it over because it was right up against the edge here, and I couldn't have the stuff on top go across, so I had to actually shift it a little bit. But what the heck? That must... okay, that's a window. I think it was supposed to be like this. I'll have to check my video footage. Yeah, you can see that when I moved it, it did something. Yeah, so little thing there, and then we got our steps. And what the heck? Oh man, do I have to like fix this whole thing? It's okay, it's fixable. I must have not copied air when I moved it from one over. I must have not copied air. That must have been what happened. Which means this may not be the right roof. And I think that's exactly what it is, because look at what we have down here. Well, now this is making a little bit of sense. If the door is here... wow. Okay. I think we're getting somewhere. Alright, so I got a few things I gotta fix. And I've got one of the standard trees, and this goes back up. All those things are gonna have torches on them. So this goes back up here, which goes back to the upper level. And then if you remember, I created that underground walkway cave. Remember that? I just dug it underneath this way, so we kind of had like a cave type of thing. And it goes up here and goes right back up to where we started. But there's a pathway over here that kind of leads us. Oh yeah, so this one I created also, and it went in that direction. Don't want to get sidetracked too much. There's the train station, because I don't want to forget some of the other things we were talking about looking at. Okay. Oh, this is going to be a flower bed right here. Got our stilts holding stuff up. And now we come up to here. We've got a walkway here. What was I thinking of here? I don't know. I have a walkway here. This is supposed to be something. I don't know what I was doing. Maybe it's a playground. I don't know. But the walkway kind of goes around here. But yeah, here's the pathway. And it comes up here, and there's a couple of homes. And these homes are actually based off of real blueprints. Real blueprints that I found online of a house. I managed to get this one in here so it didn't touch the top. But yeah, this is your kitchen area. This is a porch right here with a table. And this here is the living room. So this would be like a couch. That's a TV. Once again, 2 block high. So this is going to have glass. I'll put doors in here. Double bed. We got a hallway. We got 2. This is the bathroom. So this is the shower here. Toilet there. And we got another bedroom. So I put the bathroom here in between the 2 bedrooms. And some drawers and stuff, I guess. Display case, I don't know. It's at the end of the hallway. And this will go out to the porch as well. And I think there's a... Okay, yeah, there is a second level. So... Whoops. There's going to be a ladder here. But I had all this extra space. And I didn't want it to go to waste. And I don't have any room to really put a ladder. Or staircase. So I'm going to use a ladder here to get up here. You got the front porch there with pillars. Okay, and that will go that way. So here's the other house right over here. I know it had these things here on the front. I thought it was kind of neat. It was a neat design. Okay, so this I think is supposed to be the living room. This would be the dining area, so this represents chairs and a table. This is the kitchen, refrigerator, microwave, sink or stove, one of the two. And then a double door that will go here. Obviously, probably gonna have to put glass there or something, or maybe I'll just put a couple of blocks. But yeah, so this is the porch. And then there is an upstairs right here, where we have another bedroom right there and one right here, and then you have another bedroom right here with I think I'm missing I think I'm missing this. I don't know. This may have, I may have meant, I thought somewhere on this house I had it to where, I think it is. I think this is supposed to be a tall window type of thing. And then we have this, which I think is another bathroom. Because, yeah, this would be the shower right here. And there we go. There's that one. Whee! Okay, so this goes up here to this little walk area, which will come up to here. And now we're not up there on the upper level. This is on top of the cliffs and stuff. I like how these pillars look. And so we've got a house right here. Nice little view and stuff. And then we have one up here. A couple of tables, double door. I think this is supposed to be a restaurant because of how I have the tables spaced out and because of this. Because this looks like, yeah, you know, outside porch. So yeah, I think that's a restaurant. And then we've got this walkway here, which will take us all the way back up there to those the original staircase, the houses up there. Yeah, this is a big one. I think this is just kind of like an overlook or something. Walk around here. There's all the faces. There's the upper fountain going down to the lower fountain. Now we're going from one cliff top to another cliff top. Right across here. Another tree, cobblestone tree. Now we're going to look up this way. This is up to the upper fountain, and I've got two phoenixes, or they're bald eagles. I can't remember which one. I think they're supposed to be bald eagles. They might be phoenixes. But we have a couple of houses over here. Bed there. Something. Put chest there, I guess. I don't know. Another house. Now you can see the art. Ah! Dang it. That's alright. We'll make our way back up. Okay, so if you remember the snake over there, here's the walkway that makes its way all the way around. And we've got a few more faces there. These are just generic faces that I kind of looked up and copied the best that I could with the blocks that are available. Okay, now the map going this direction is not going to be part of the original 9 maps. There's going to be 9 maps that are merged together, but then there's going to be something off in each cardinal direction. So it's not going to end here, but this is going to be going in that direction. Did I miss that house completely? I think I missed that house. We'll have to make our way back up there. Oh, we got to do that anyway. Alright, so here's our walkway. You can see we have our rail system. Little walkway here. We got a little house here. Little back area. Then I've got a house here in the inside the cliff. Got a bedroom there and a bedroom over here. And this is supposed to be a bathroom, I think, because I was doing like the tiled floor. Sofa, TV. This is a pool, and it's got a diving board. So like I said, these are the brave risk takers. They like living life on the edge. So yeah, obviously this will be filled with water, but I wanted to make, you know, a staircase going in to the pool and going out. And this is the cool decking that goes around it. And then you can go up this way. You know, if you're having fun with the pool, you can come up this way. And here's your diving board, right? Whee! Poof. I probably should have made that bigger. So yeah, just make our way up here. And we got another house right here. Little area here. So we got the door. I think I made up this design. Pretty sure I did. This is the living room. Got the TV over here. Got the couch way back here and the TV over here. Because I did not want to block this. This goes out to the front porch here. There's also a little wall connection there too. Then we got a bedroom in here. And we have an upstairs. So up we go. Little window. And we have another bedroom that has a porch. And then a bathroom. Shower. And a bedroom with 2 beds. That's what that is. I thought maybe I had another floor, but no. Then there's the bald eagles again. Good deal. So we've gone all the way over here. We'll take our splash, jump in the pool. Now this walkway is going to take us in between the cliff pillars and everything, and this will lead us back around. It will not lead us over there. I didn't want to cut across this. I kind of want to keep this kind of natural. But it will take us back over there in that direction. And then we're going to come over here and we've got another face. Anyone recognize that face? That is Mumbo Jumbo. Alright, we got another house here. I think did I make 3 stories there? Okay, so we got a grand staircase coming up. I I don't know if this is an actual house. Yeah, it is, because I got the refrigerator there. The kitchen, and then this is like a big table. So I put these here to represent chairs. And then later I'll put in the stairs to represent chairs. But I will not use stairs for this. So that's, or roofs or anything like that. It's just for the decoration for the chairs. Alright, so we go up here. I almost think this is supposed to be a restaurant. I don't think so, though. Okay. Because this is supposed to be a bed. I've got another little garden over here. And then I've got another piece of clip art. Got a plane. I thought about making an airport, but I think we might do that on another time. So let's go over here. I put down a crocodile. Kind of, you know, a cute crocodile thing to the 4-bit Atari version of the crocodile. But then there's this. I made 3-dimensional statues of the chest, the crafting table, workbench. This is a crafting table. And TNT. And I had to dig down for this stuff. So, just to get it all the way in there. We're almost done. Almost. We may have missed something. I don't think so, but we'll see. Alright, so we come back around here and we have a tree and a couple more houses here. Be the front room. This would be the bedroom. Here's the other house. And a backyard. This is supposed to be a fence. It's a really big fence. Another tree. Then we've got what's going to be, or what is, a bridge over this. And although I thought about putting water down here as a kind of like a river or something, I don't think I'm going to do that. I need to see how it all connects. Because in a way it could work, but the idea was I was connecting from this cliff over here. This is not really a cliff, but you can see how it goes up, or there's a steepness there. That was kind of the idea that I had. And I didn't want to do something flat. I wanted to, as you can see, wanted to do something a little different in regards to the bridge. Alright, so we got another farming plot here. And I believe this area here, I think I built this in the series. Because, yeah, I had made a farm. Yeah, I had made this farm over here. And I think I did that farm over there. I can't remember. So this is supposed to be like the farmer's house or something. And we got multiple doors for them to go in and out. And another house over here. Here's the kitchen. Dining table with seats. We got a bedroom here. And we have an upstairs. Why do I have that there? I don't know. And a bedroom here. And now we come this way. There's a garden there. We're just about coming full circle here. So we've got, if you remember, here's that textured path that I talked about. So we've got a house here. I think that's supposed to be the kitchen, I think. And we have a porch. Chairs, table. Oh, this is the way in, okay. Then there's a way up. This is kind of like a balcony. And there's a little house in here. Or room. Oh, wait a minute. I think I missed something. I don't think we went into this house, did we? Oh, maybe we did. Okay, so there's the walkway that goes back up to that original cliff. There's Notch. We've got our pathway here that's going to take us up. And then back around. Think other than that right there, oh, I forgot 2A. Yeah, there's that right there. And also, if you remember, I put these letters down. Did I forget this? Oh, there's a little house here. Or did I make this a library? I may have turned this into a library. But if you remember, I put a T and an I and a B, which means absolutely nothing. Just put it there. Okay, so in order to get up to there, we're going to have to come this way. We're almost done. I think I did these. Yeah. Well, that's it. That covers map number 5, Cliffpoint. Wow, that was quite a bit. I'd say this took me roughly 10 days to do, because I spent 5 days working on it, and then I had to take a little break, and then I worked a couple of days on it, and a couple more days on it. So yeah, a total of 10 days. I put a lot of work into this, as you can see. But I think it's going to be really cool once it's all torched up. and lit and has the rails and stuff so you can go around. Yeah, it's going to be really neat. So, hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you're enjoying the series. I still got to work on map number 6. It's a lot of work. But I want these 9 maps to really be something special, so that way whenever we visit the birth of civilization in this Polyworld that I'm making, it's like it all began right here. So, but thanks for watching, and we will see you next time. Have a killer awesome day.